we are going to bring out Carolyn Allen.
I'm a mineral geek. I didn't make that up. People just started calling me that because I couldn't stop talking about how minerals changed my life. Let me take you back. It's the winter of 2010. I'm in my bathtub. I've got a washcloth over my face. I'm struggling with the pain of the third sinus infection I've had in 6 months. I've been trying to keep my corporate career going and taking care of my kids, but I've just been feeling so bad for so long. I'm sure many of you have had a journey like this, and it's probably one of the things that brought you here today. My journey started as a young person with autoimmune, mold exposure, and intense gluten intolerance that grew throughout my life into a myriad of complex chronic symptoms that included intense inflammation in my gut, flatlined adrenals, continual sinus infections, and bad inflammation in my mouth with bone loss in my teeth. I've gone to so many doctors and practitioners and specialists trying to heal these symptoms one by one by one by one. But all along, I had this intuition that there might be something that was the source or the thread that connected all of these different symptoms. It was right about the time of the bathtub crisis that I was introduced to plant-based minerals. Now, they were liquid, they were really easy to take, they tasted like water. My body seemed to want to take them. So every morning I woke up, I took my shot, I was done, I went on with my day. 2 months in, I went to my dentist. She looked in my mouth after having my teeth cleaned, which usually had been quite an ordeal, but there was no pain. She looked in there and she was surprised to see that the tissues were healthy and pink, and there'd been no bleeding when my teeth had been cleaned. And she said, "What are you doing? This is amazing. The pH is completely changed in your mouth." And I thought for a moment, I was like, well, I don't know. I guess it's these minerals I'm taking. She said, well, keep taking them. 4 months in, I went to see my naturopath, and I'd had my adrenal test done. And she looked down at the results. She's like, this is amazing. My adrenals, after being flatlined for nearly 2 years, were 1/3 of the way up the chart. I went through 1 season, then 2 seasons, no sinus infection. Over the space of about 8 or 9 months, all of these chronic symptoms just cleared. And I felt good finally, but I was left with this incredible curiosity. How in the world could these small cups of liquid that I took each day have such a profound effect on my health when I tried so many other things? Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a researcher, I'm not a practitioner, but I am a big learner. And I believe that smart people ask a lot of stupid questions, so I started asking. And I went down the rabbit hole. I studied about mineral depletion and how it happens, and then its effects in the body, and how minerals actually operate in the body and why they're so important. And then I studied about plant-based minerals and how they work. And as I continued to ask more and more questions, I started to develop this holistic view. Because of my ignorance, I was able to study in any field, in any area, and this beautiful, holistic view came into focus, and it was that this is an ecosystem. It operates in a natural way, the way nature works. So I'm going to quickly look at my notes because I am a stupid, smart person, so I get to do that. So the beautiful thing about understanding this body as an ecosystem is that I recognized that my entire body is made of cells. It's this incredible, magical, myriad, complex system of cells that work together. They're generating all this energy to allow me to stand here, talk to you, to think, to feel, to dream. And as I studied, I kept going deeper and deeper and deeper until I found myself inside the cells. And that's when I encountered the understanding that my cells had been struggling for years. And the reason was the mitochondria. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard this word. The mitochondria are these energy-generating units inside your cells. They generate almost all of the energy in your body. I had to ask the question, though, what fuels a mitochondria? And here's what I found out. It's minerals and amino acids. Now, the body makes a lot of amino acids, but it makes no minerals. They all have to come in from the outside. The sad truth is that we're all operating at about 40% of the minerals that we need in our body for normal function. I'm not talking optimal function, just normal function. So take all these lights, dim them down to about 40%. That's how most of us are operating. The sad fact is that we cannot get enough minerals from the foods we eat anymore. To get the same nutrition from one apple that your grandfather ate, you would have to eat 6 apples today. And now we're also drinking bottled and filtered water, which has taken that and has greatly exacerbated mineral deficiency to the point where there's a term for it. It's called the hidden hunger. And isn't that what a lot of us are feeling, that there's just something missing? Do you find yourself going to the fridge at night, maybe an hour after dinner, looking for that thing, that something that's going to fill the void? But what if that is just your cells saying, we need minerals? To understand the sense of scale of the mitochondria and the amount and how they work in your body, on the back of your hand here, in a single cell, you have maybe 100 or 200 mitochondria. In your heart, in a single cell, you could have 5,000 to 8,000 mitochondria. And in your brain, in one single cell, you could have up to 2 million mitochondria. That's how much energy is generated in your body moment by moment. So you can understand the scale of the problem if you only have 40% of the fuel necessary. That's what was happening in my body over my lifetime. I was severely mineral depleted. My body could not generate the energy necessary to take care of all of the processes. So it had to pick and choose, and it chose keeping my heart going. It chose keeping my lungs pumping, etc. Okay? So I started to ask the question, how do we get minerals back in the body? And this is when I really began to understand the difference between plant-based minerals and what we're all trying to do. You see, we've been steeped in the understanding that I call the car mentality. If my body's a car, I need gas, put in gas. I need oil, put in oil. Maybe fill up the windshield washer fluid once in a while. Some scientist said, we need 320 milligrams of magnesium every day, 2,600 milligrams of potassium, et cetera, et cetera. And those numbers were designed in a lab, and they have no relevance for you or you or you or you based on your lifestyle and your diet and your genetics and your epigenetics and the size of your body, et cetera. Okay? So I've spent a lot of time in the health food stores talking to people who are buying single mineral bottles, right? Somebody said, I need this and I need that, and should I take it with food or without food? Am I supposed to take it in the morning, in the night, et cetera, et cetera. But the supplement graveyard that they all have at home is testament to the fact that it just doesn't work. So the beautiful thing is that I found these plant-based minerals, and here's the cool thing about them. They operate naturally on the ecosystem model. They utilize the natural replenishment system of my body. They're actually what all cellular systems on Earth use naturally to replenish minerals into the cells. So what happened to me when I started taking these minerals is I was receiving all of the minerals my body needed in the natural ratios that my body utilizes them. So it wasn't magic, it was science. I fed the cells and I fueled every biosynthesis process, every autonomic process, every parasympathetic and sympathetic process, my adrenals and my thyroid and my hormones, everything. What a beautiful thing, truly a theory of everything. Now, minerals don't heal anything, but what they do is they provide the foundational support for all of the mitochondria in this body to generate all of the energy that I need to support every function. What an amazing thing. These are why I became a mineral geek, and I'd love to share a shot with you. If you want to come to our booth, you can try some plant-based minerals, and we can geek out more if you'd like to chat with me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.